hello everyone. How are you? Can you see me okay back here? Or should I stand?
No, you're tall, you're good.
Okay. All right, so my name is Bruna Camargo, and today I want to talk to you about fashion blogging and why you're not full of shit if you want to be a fashion blogger. Okay, show of hands. How many of you have a fashion blog or want to have a fashion blog or think of having? Okay, so quite a few, right? And this is actually something that I've struggled with over my 4 years that I've been blogging, is that people see you and they look at you and they think you're superficial because you like fashion. And guess what? That is the total and utter BS right there. That is not true. Skip to the next one. And that is the BS that they see. There's a special place in hell for fashion bloggers. People are walking around wearing that. And then you see in magazines, actually this one was on Net-a-Porter, where you see strike a pose and how to stand like a fashion blogger for photos. And it makes it seem so easy and superficial and kind of frilly, to be honest. So, next. So this is me. My name is Bruna Camargo, and this is my fashion blog, and it's called StyleMile. And I am proud to say that I am one, and no, I am not full of shit, and neither are you if you want to be one. I love blogging about fashion because I don't have to. I'm actually not a full-time blogger. I have a full-time job at a social media agency. I'm also a part-time photographer, and I work freelance on countless other jobs. And really, the main reason that I like to do what I do is because I want to be inspiring other people. And this is a little bit of what I do, so I'm going to give you a taste of what it's been like over the last year for me on StyleMile.
I am literally inside of Fashion Week right now, recording live. Now it's time for Out of Detroit Best Dress 2015.
Now, to do this. Is it broken? Is it cool? Is it what? Tablet? So hint, hint, it'll be on print. Actually don't know what I'm wearing yet. Story of my life. I have been to countless photo shoots, I have worked with brands, I have been to events, I attended Fashion Week for the first time. And this has all been fun and glamorous, and what you see on Instagram and Snapchat looks really easy and looks amazing. As I'm sure this is why we're looking at these bloggers and thinking the same exact thing. But really, it's a lot of hard work. And when I look at these bloggers, I feel inspired because these are a very strong, independent, driven group of women. And I do what I do because I want to be that same exact thing to someone else. Okay. And the motto that I use, that I created when I started StyleMile, is that the journey to finding yourself, or finding your style, begins with finding yourself. Slide. And in the early 90s, this was me as a baby. Before I could even speak, I was already using that truth, I guess, living that truth. That is me eating my mom's lipstick, who's here in the audience, sorry Mom. And then she was our original stylist of my sister and I, and clearly I think I was enjoying it better than my sister was. Okay, next. And then came the tween years, where I was experimenting with trying different fashion. I had no idea what I was doing. I think that shirt was stolen from my sister. And that was in Brazil, by the way. I grew up in Brazil. I forgot to say that. I moved here when I was 13 years old. And that was that year when I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to put a spike on my neck and call it a day. And then came high school, where you thought plastic star earrings were a good idea. And I don't know what that is on the right, but it's embarrassing. Okay. And then I graduated college, and I guess I didn't include anything as far as that goes in here. I actually went to school for advertising at College for Creative Studies, and I graduated in 2011. And across all 4 years, I was really interested in the side of advertising that talks about the psychology and the fashion industry, and I tried to do projects that dealt with that, but I still was working in advertising in the auto industry. So I needed a different creative outlet for me. So Instagram came out, and I had an Android, and I said, I need an iPhone so I can get on Instagram. That was back then. You guys were probably too young to even have that, but there was a time where Androids didn't have Instagram. So when I first got my iPhone, that's what I did. I just did selfies in the mirror and started sharing. And this is so funny because I just realized as I was putting this together that I really liked primary colors when I was 21 for some reason. So then 4 years ago, in the spring of 2012, on 4/20, and no, it is not what you're thinking, I started StyleMile, and it was a Tumblr blog. So go ahead, next. And then in 2012, when I started talking about fashion, I was taking photos in my apartment complex parking lot by my then boyfriend, now almost future husband. And I noticed that if I was trying to take myself too seriously with fashion, I would fall into the trap of being the same as everybody else, and I didn't want to do that. So I started nitpicking at myself. I posted that GIF along with that photo, and I said, hey, I look like Captain Kirk. And it just started different conversations that weren't like, oh, look how I'm perfect, I'm great at this. It was like, we're all in this together, it's fine, it's okay. So next. And then in 2013, I had some questionable looks, but that's okay. I started getting invited to events around the city of Detroit, which was kind of exciting. I would go and drag a couple people with me, and it was all very weird, should I be here, should I not be here? I don't know any of these people. Who are you? Why are you here? What is a blogger? So then in 2014, and that is right before 2014, I started also getting into some how-to blog posts, kind of changing my style a little bit of what I was doing. And then I changed my logo to that. I revamped it. And this is still the same blog format that I have today, because I think I'm working on a new one, but this has been universal enough for the past couple of years that I was able to stick with it and keep it clean. And then in 2014, things really started happening. That right there, I was invited to compete in a blogger style off. I didn't win, but it's okay. I got second place. And then I started working with brands. I went to fashion conferences. That is Fashion Speak, that happens every fall in Detroit, and that is fashion designer Tracy Reese, who's actually a Detroit native, and she dresses women like Michelle Obama, which is kind of amazing. So this was my first designer encounter, and I was ecstatic. And as you can see by all of this, granted this was 2 years ago, but I am still just as excited when I meet new people and learn new things in the fashion industry as I did back then. So when people ask me, hey, can you wear this and put it on your blog? I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, okay, sure, I'll do it, no problem. So skip to 2015. Oh, and then, actually, never mind, caveat. I started working at Ignite Social Media in Birmingham, which is, like I said, my full-time job. And that job took me to different events in places like the Teen Choice Awards, covering for Olay Fresh Effects and social media. And that was really exciting, and I noticed when I talked about stuff that was backstage and behind the scenes, that people were excited and I would see a lot of traffic to the blog. So I started noticing that maybe it shouldn't just be about me. That was a trend that I was seeing amongst other bloggers as well. It should be more about the industry and what you're doing and what's going on. People want to see the exclusive side of things. So I also upped my wardrobe by I started shop resale, designer stuff, and I also use Rent the Runway a lot. I'm like their #1 shopper, I swear to God. They owe me a check. But anyway, so it really helped me keep up with trends and kind of stay modern and stay along the lines of what everybody else was doing. So then in 2015, this is my second red carpet event, but it was a more exclusive one, and that was really exciting to be at. Rubbing shoulders with celebrities was very, very surreal. Again, the entire time I'm like, are you telling me that I should be here? Yes, I had to keep telling myself, you're supposed to be here. So believe in yourself, okay? You're the last person to believe in yourself. So just be in the moment. And then that kind of situation went a little crazy when in 2015, around February, about a year ago, I got an email from Hewlett Packard, HP, and they were inviting me to do a project with Megan Trainor on the launch of their new laptop. So, go ahead. That is where I came to a crossroads, and I think a lot of people do. Right now, a lot of people start on the right side of this diagram when they talk about blogging, and they want to head into the money and the inclusivity and the business side of it, and they want to do it because everyone's doing it. And they forget that that's where you should start, and that's where I did start, was via my passion, and because it was so new and it was creative, it was a creative outlet. So go ahead, next. So what I had to do over the past year was really pick my partnerships and really think about who I was showcasing in my blog and making sure that the people or the brands that I was associating myself with were something that my readers were interested in. So I partnered with Neiman Marcus and I did a project with them. I've partnered with a couple of different jewelry brands. One time I did a lifestyle piece with Tim Hortons on Instagram, which was great because they sent me a bunch of Nutella, which was awesome but also terrible. I've also partnered with Meyer, most recently on doing the Meyer beauty products. So, and also as you can see from the first slide, my content has tremendously improved thanks to that little guy over there, my photographer, who, not to say that my fiance did great at photography, but I think professional photography is a little bit better. Sorry. Okay, next. And then I also started networking, which is something really important that some of you ladies talked about. Before I worked very much in a silo. It was me and my partner complex that I would go to work and make a post later. Now I'm going out to events. Granted, there are a lot more of us, but I'm going out to events and I'm connecting and I'm learning from people and I'm hearing, I'm listening to what they're saying about who they're partnering with and why they're doing what they're doing. It's really inspiring, and it brings me right back to the beginning of why I'm even doing this. So recently go back. And then that right there at the bottom is my newest logo, which hasn't been officially released yet. I've been putting it out here and there, but I know it's not a big deal, but it was kind of a long time waiting, so I was really excited about it. It's a hanger, you guys. Okay. And then late last year in November, I was sitting at work, and then I received this email. And it said, "Hello Bruna, I hope you're well. My name is Kelsey, and I am part of a photo team at Marie Claire magazine." Just saying that, I'm getting goosebumps. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Again, I'm asking myself, is this real? Is this my life? Hit next. Cue to that weekend, I am doing a photo shoot for Marie Claire magazine. That was probably one of the craziest moments that I've had throughout all 4 years, just because it's validation and it's recognition, and it's just it's crossing the T's and dotting the I's on why you're doing what you're doing. And I actually didn't know if I was going to be in the magazine until it came out. So it came out in January, and there I was. These are other Detroit bloggers. So this was a piece they did on Detroit beauty, and you got to talk about what you loved about yourself. And so I'm in a magazine talking about my eyebrows. So this has been this year so far. Like I said, I attended Fashion Week for the first time. I did it for work, granted. However, it was for a client called Go Red for Women, and every year they put together a fashion show called Red Dress Collection. So for that, I was doing social media. I was not being my blogger, influencer, quote-unquote self. But I managed to get my red dress on at the end of the night. And then the same weekend, I went to Nicole Miller and somehow ended up in the front row by accident, but I didn't say anything. I just sat there and watched the show. And then been invited to different shoots. The auto show, I helped dress models in a fashion show, which was kind of interesting, very fun. And different events where I get to invite my friends to come out with me on behalf of StyleMile and whatever brand I'm partnering with at the time. Go ahead. And just yesterday, it was just announced that I was chosen as the 50 States of Style representative of Michigan. So out of all the the Michigan fashion bloggers, I was the one they picked, and that was a little crazy as well. So it's been a great week, and now I'm here talking to all of you about all this. And I just want to show you guys something that, putting this together, it's kind of hilarious. Why you do what you do really comes from the inside, and you can't try to compare yourself to other people or be other people, because you'll never be as good as they are at being themselves. So you just really need to be who you are. And this is a video of 20 years apart of myself, and you can see that the clothes that I'm wearing in the beginning and the end are both amazing. And it just comes to show that you are who you are, and nothing can change that. You can only make yourself better, and you can only be good at what you really love doing. That was literally last week, 2 weeks ago. I did the same exact thing. So before I end, I want to leave you with a quote, and I think it's really important to remember that there are steps to what you're doing, and if you want to do fashion blogging, if you want to be a fashion designer, you're never going to hit the top right away. If you do, you'll crash way too fast, and you don't want to be doing that. So it does not matter how slow you go, so long as you don't stop. Thank you.